That night when Sarah returned home, something felt different. She closed her door gently behind her, the quiet of her room wrapping around her like a heavy blanket. As she lay in bed, eyes fixed on the ceiling, an uneasy feeling settled deep in her chest. Why do I feel like this? He wondered. A knot of emotions twisted inside her. Emptiness, discomfort, a strange vulnerability. Why do I feel so exposed? So small? She thought. Tears welled in her eyes, unbidden. He had always dressed like this, stylish, trendy, confident. But tonight it felt wrong. Like she had become nothing more than her appearance. Like something precious had been put on display and lost its value. With trembling hands, she reached for her prayer mat. She hadn't planned to pray at that moment. It just poured out of her. Ya Allah, she whispered through her tears. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why do I feel this way? What's happening to my heart? The sobs came in waves. She cried and cried, pouring her confusion into sujud, her forehead pressed into the ground, the only place that felt safe. And in the quiet that followed, something stirred. A whisper, soft and gentle, not from outside, but from deep within. It wasn't a voice but a feeling, like a pull. As if Allah was guiding her heart, calling her to search, not outside but within. To search for something deeper, something beyond appearances. The next morning, Sarah couldn't ignore it. She began searching for answers. Her heart felt restless, not in doubt but in yearning. She watched Islamic videos, read articles, and came across a talk by a woman who spoke openly about her own struggles. I used to feel pressure to look modern, to dress how society expected me to. But when I embraced the hijab, everything changed. It's not about what others think of you, the woman said. It's about how you see yourself, and how you honor your connection with Allah. Sarah sat still, eyes fixed on the screen, her heart quietly moved. Had I misunderstood hijab all this time? She thought. She had always seen it as a restriction, something that would make her stand out awkwardly, something that didn't belong in the modern world. But now, it felt like something sacred. That afternoon, with renewed curiosity, she opened her Quran app, something she had rarely done with the intention of learning. She scrolled to Surah An-Nur and began reading. And tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their private parts and not display their adornment except that which, necessarily, appears thereof, and to draw their head covers over their chests. Surah An-Nur 2400 hours 31. She read the verse again and again. The words struck her differently this time. They weren't rules. They were protection, dignity, a deep kind of love from her Creator. This is not about hiding myself, she thought, it's about respecting myself. In the days that followed, Sarah began to make changes. She started dressing more modestly, longer tops, looser clothes, a scarf that slowly started to cover her hair. It wasn't easy. She was used to fitting in, to the compliments, to feeling modern. She often stood in front of the mirror and whispered, "Why doesn't this outfit look trendy? Am I falling behind? Do I still look beautiful?" The doubts clung to her, until one day she attended a family event. Among the guests walked in her cousin Amina, wearing both hijab and niqab with confidence, grace, and undeniable peace. Sarah couldn't hold back. She gently approached her, speaking with hesitant curiosity. "Excuse me, Amina. I've always admired you," Sarah began shyly. "You wear the hijab and niqab so gracefully. But don't you ever feel the urge to look fashionable or modern like everyone else? Doesn't it get lonely when others around you are all dressed so stylishly?" Amina smiled warmly. "Why would I feel left out, Sarah?" she replied, her voice calm and kind. "I am modern. Maybe it's the world that's outdated." Sarah blinked, taken aback. Amina continued, "Islam came as a modern, liberating message, especially for women. At a time when women were walking around uncovered, objectified, reduced to their beauty, Islam said, cover yourself. Be recognized as a woman of dignity and honor." Her eyes softened. "Islam sees us as jewels, Sarah. Something precious, not meant to be displayed for everyone's eyes. The world may tell you that beauty means being seen by all, but Allah tells us that true beauty is hidden, protected, and honored." She leaned in gently. "Why would I want to look like everyone else, when I know my worth is far greater than chasing trends?" Sarah stood silently. Her heart felt full, moved in a way she hadn't felt before. That night she prayed again. But this time, her tears weren't confused or heavy. They were warm, light. He finally understood. The world had defined beauty by exposure. Islam defined beauty by honor. And for the first time she believed it. Months passed. Sarah grew into her modesty, not just in clothes but in mindset. She wasn't dressing for people anymore. She wasn't trying to impress. She no longer needed validation from others. She was dressing for herself. And for Allah. Each prayer felt deeper. Each outfit she chose felt like a statement, not of fashion but of faith. Islam doesn't ask you to be outdated, she reflected. It asks you to be timeless. Modesty was no longer something she feared. It became her power. And when she wrapped her hijab around her head each morning, it was as if she was saying, I know who I am, I honor who I am, and I know who I belong to.